Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden, not Doctor Who, with you for another live edition of Fire Your MD Now, a.k.a. the Dr. Glidden Show. If you're watching on YouTube, I invite you to join the live chat, worldwide live chat. Visit the drgliddenshow.tv, where you will gain free entry into the chat room, the drgliddenshow.tv. Check it out. Thanks for tuning in and turning on, everybody. The message is growing rapidly. Radio stations from all around the world are calling yours truly to have a conversation, a live conversation on the airwaves, on the internet, about the complete breakdown that we're experiencing here in the wonderful world of not healthcare, disease management, more apropos, brought to the world stage by the allopathically trained MD. Now, you know, my recommendation is fire your medical doctor. Don't listen to their advice for anything that doesn't have to do with trauma care, surgery, or a handful of infectious diseases. And, you know, we could have a conversation about which infectious diseases they're good for and which infectious diseases they're not good for. But, you know, if you have a bleeding artery, if you have a broken leg, you have a bullet in your arm, heaven forbid, then those are the people you want to go to because that's their wheelhouse. But if you're suffering with a chronic disease, you should absolutely positively avoid them. Why? Because we have an axe to grind? No, because their therapeutics are incorrect. The metaphors I always use is the MDs are like colorblind artists. No matter how good their intentions are, the paintings that they draw are always going to be incorrect. They're always going to be incorrect because they're based on, you know, the colorblind artists who don't know that they're colorblind, right? So the art is always going to be incorrect, no matter how well-intentioned they are or how technically correct the drawings are and the geometrical shapes are and the proportions and the distance and the shading and the light. The colors are going to be wrong. And the colors have a lot to do with the art, right? So, perfect example, high blood pressure. Your medical doctor will tell you that high blood pressure is caused by something that they're unaware of, right? The medical doctor has no clue whatsoever what causes high blood pressure. They can directly relate it sometimes to kidney malfunction, but they won't be able to tell you what causes the kidney to malfunction. They can directly relate it sometimes to chronic inflammatory processes in the human body, but they are incapable of telling you what causes the inflammatory processes in the human body, and therefore they are incapable of curing the high blood pressure. Heartburn. The MD will tell you that heartburn is caused by too much stomach acid, but they will be incapable of telling you the biological process that makes the body have too much stomach acid. What is it that causes the body to have too much stomach acid, Doc? Well, it's genetic. Well, remember, the genetic answer for everything is an intellectual scapegoat. It's a straw man that the MDs put up in front of you to make you feel intellectually inferior, and they can pass off their lack of understanding of the even basic foundation principles of human health as, you know, intellectual superiority. You have heartburn because you have too much stomach acid, and of course it's genetic. We all know it's genetic. I'm Dr. Huff and Puff. Dr. Huff and Puff says it's all genetic. By the way, Dr. Huff and Puff also says that tornadoes are caused by sunlight. That's right, tornadoes are caused by sunlight. Because sunlight makes water evaporate, evaporated water makes clouds, clouds make tornadoes. So therefore, tornadoes are caused by sunlight. It's nonsense. It's not genetic. Well, just ask the simple question, well, why does my stomach make too much stomach acid? It doesn't make too much stomach acid. Heartburn is caused by not enough stomach acid, and the biological process that causes not enough stomach acid to be present in the body is nutritional deficiencies. Your body is deficient in the nutrients it needs to make and squirt out hydrochloric acid, digestive acid in the stomach. You're going to have underactive digestive acids. You're going to have not enough hydrochloric acid in your stomach. When you have not enough hydrochloric acid in your stomach, the little valve at the top of the stomach opens up, and the stuff that is in your stomach squirts back up into the throat and causes heartburn. It's a deficiency in hydrochloric acid, not in excess, and it's driven 100% by nutrient deficiencies. High blood pressure, most of the time, when it's not related to kidney disease, and most of the time it's not, is caused by simple calcium deficiencies, calcium and magnesium. The arteries of your circulatory system have muscles in them. The muscles help the heart to pump the blood. The muscles constrict and relax by virtue of the presence of calcium and magnesium. Not enough calcium and magnesium, the muscles constrict, but they don't relax. When the muscles in the arteries constrict, your blood pressure increases. It's a simple calcium and magnesium deficiency. But your medical doctor is blind to simple physiology. They don't know it. They don't know it. And because they don't know it, they don't deserve your respect, and they are the last people you want to go to get a leg up on a chronic health condition. But they are the only people that your medical insurance pays for. They're the only people that you really know about. They're the only people that practice in the hospitals in your cities or towns or, wherever you live. They have completely cornered the market, and they bring to the table old-fashioned, outdated therapeutics which are based upon a physiological model of the human body, which is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. 2 plus 2 does not equal 5. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Your medical doctor will tell you that breast cancer is caused by, the BRCA gene. And then if you have the BRCA gene, you're going to get breast cancer. The medical doctor will fail to tell you that the BRCA gene is not a gene, it's a mutated gene. And they're completely clueless as to what causes the gene to mutate or what to do to reverse the mutation, if that's even possible. They should research that, but they don't, because they're not concerned with curing disease. Your medical doctor will tell you that arthritis is, just life, that the joints will wear out just like the tires on your car. It's only a matter of time until they wear out. Well, guess what? That's incorrect. Your joints wear out not because you're getting old, not because Father Time marches on, but because your body has run out of the nutrients necessary to maintain the proper joint function. And how do I know this? Because when you give the body the nutrients necessary to maintain proper joint function, your joints repair themselves. Without stem cells, without the titanium knee, the arthritis goes away. You get on the other side of it. Now, we can't even say we can cure it. I could have 10,000 patients with before and after MRIs, before and after blood work, before and after x-rays of, an arthritic knee and then a non-arthritic knee. Signs and symptoms before and pages of signs and symptoms after the fact. All this arthritic stuff and now no arthritic stuff. Orthopedic exams showing no mobility, orthopedic exams showing remarkable mobility, and I still would not be able to say that we can cure arthritis. Because according to the Food and Drug Administration, the only thing that can cure anything is a drug. So the MDs have got it locked, do you see? They've got it locked across the board. They've got it locked. My profession is only licensed to practice medicine with different scopes of practice in different states. In 18 states. 18 states. Do the math. What's 52 minus 18? 35. There are 35 states in the United States where citizens of the United States of America do not have access to licensed, regulated naturopathic physicians. Even though we graduated from fully accredited medical schools, which were accredited by the United States Department of Education. For goodness sake, Blue Cross and Blue Shield in Washington State covers naturopathic medicine. But in Illinois, in Massachusetts, in North Carolina, in South Carolina, in Georgia, in Florida, in Kansas, in Texas, naturopathic medicine is illegal? You've got to be kidding me. Who made that rule? Well, I'll tell you who made that rule. The American Medical Association and the pharmaceutical industry and the insurance companies. Because the longer they're in business, the longer we're out of business, the longer they stay in business, and the longer they stay in business, the more money they make. It's all money-driven, 100%. And, the thing about it that ticks me off the most is the thing about that ticks me off about police the most. I'm not saying that all police officers are bad, psychopaths, and abusive. But in every police force, there are a large number of officers who are. And the officers who are good, honest officers actually trying to do their job by the book, they don't blow the whistle because of the blue wall, the thin blue line, whatever you want to call it. They're not going to give up one of their own, even though the people that we've hired to protect us and to uphold the law break the law. Well, it's the same with medicine. Where are the medical doctors who see this nonsense, because it's here for everyone to see? Where are the medical doctors who are standing up and saying, you know what, Glidden's right. You know what, Wallach's right. You know what, we don't have a free medical market. We need to level the playing field. You know what, we need to disband the American Medical Association because they're probably guilty of racketeering. Probably are. And when I win the lottery, I'm going to sue them. And I'm pretty sure with $10 million I could win that lawsuit. But the members of the medical profession are not even standing up and saying this, and members of the medical profession who do espouse naturopathy, there are a handful of MDs in the world who are strong advocates of naturopathic medicine, but they haven't given up their MD degree. And I just have no respect for people like that. I don't, unless they're military field surgeons or, actually doing work that is suited for MDs. I mean, we wouldn't go to a chiropractor for open heart surgery. Well, neither should you go to an MD if you have a chronic illness, because their therapeutics are insufficient to the cause. And where are the MDs who are standing up and saying this? They're not here. They're not here. They are AOL, right? AWL. The technological information age has taken a hold of my frontal cortex. They're away without leave. They're out of the loop. And that's a problem. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. Way much more to come. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Having fun yet? I certainly am. Having fun here every day. You have to maintain a sense of humor, or, we're just all going to walk into the water at low tide and just keep going. Because what's the use? I mean, the deck is stacked against us. The people that are in charge of the economy in the world don't have our best interests in heart. The people in charge of the government don't have our best interests in heart. The people that are in charge of medicine don't have our best interests at heart. I mean, who was it that decided that, we should own land? I mean, where did that come from? I mean, who all of a sudden decided that, you could have independent ownership of land? Well, I'll tell you who decided that, the king. How did the Native Americans feel about that? Not pretty good. They got along just fine for thousands of years with nobody owning the land. But we come along, all of a sudden we decide, well, guess what? We own the land now because we say we do. Wouldn't that be great if you could just, walk into a neighborhood in California and put down a sign and build a fence or anywhere that you want and just declare that you own the land? Wouldn't that be great? Well, that's what we did. That's what we did in every country in the world. Who came up with that plan? That's what I want to know. It was brilliant on their part. Let's keep the people with the money and, at the top of the pile. People who deliver medicine, it's not effective medicine. It's not. It's not effective medicine. It's not effective medicine. And I don't know why these people are in charge. But they are. So what are we going to do? Well, you want to fight City Hall? Go right ahead. I did it for 25 years, and it's nowheresville, baby. I wouldn't do that again. I'm not going to do that again. I'm withdrawing from the political arena. It's just way too stupid. I will tell you what I am going to do instead is grow a grassroots coalition of the informed. I'm going to talk about science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition for the masses to anybody who wants to listen. And we are going to build a strong, solid, ever-growing coalition of people who see the possibilities available to them in the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, who try it for themselves, who get results, remarkable often sometimes, and then tell everybody in their church about it, tell everybody in their town about it, tell everybody in their family about it, tell everybody in the world about it. So we're going to do an end around all the people that are in power. We're going to do an end around everybody. We're going to get people so healthy that they don't need to go to their doctor. They don't need it. There's no reason you need to see a medical doctor unless you have some type of trauma to your body or you really do need surgery. And the only time you really are going to need surgery is if you have had a trauma to your body, or you've waited too long to start a medical nutrition program and your body has gone beyond the ability to repair itself. There is a point beyond which your body is screwed, as far as I know. I was talking to a guy I was interviewed by a gentleman in the UK this morning for a radio program, and he was telling me about a therapeutics that the Russians have been involved with for a number of years that actually regrows limbs. They're putting some type of polypeptide on, stumps and growing fingers back, growing legs back. It's remarkable stuff. I'm going to follow this up. But my point here is you can just continue to buy your medical insurance premium and hope that you're not going to get sick. I mean, does your medical insurance premium do anything to support and promote the structure and function of your body? No, it does not. All your medical insurance does is give you access to the leading cause of death in the United States, the MDs. That's great. Let's pay for that. Yeah, let's pay those guys. Let's pay for access to those guys. That's like, hiring a lawyer and they make you give them, a retainer, right? $2,000, $4,000, $5,000 retainer. And the law that they practice, they always lose. I mean, would you retain a lawyer for $5,000 a year and every time they went to court they lost? Would you do that? No, you wouldn't do that. So why do you give your money to the MDs? Oh, because it's illegal if you don't. See how that works? In Canada, in the European Union, they have no choice. It's socialized medicine. They take it right out of the paycheck whether they want it or not. Now in the United States, it's mandatory. You have to buy medical insurance. You have to. And, people think that the reason that the economy is tanking and the reason that, medicine is so expensive is because the people that aren't insured are making it more expensive for those who are insured, and that's not it at all. That's just bad logic. It's fuzzy math. The reason that it's so expensive is because it doesn't work. MD-directed medicine for chronic diseases does not work. The best possible thing you can do if you're suffering from a chronic disease, fire your medical doctor now. Go into the chat room when we come back. Stick around. I love that music. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. The phone lines are down at the studio, so I thought for the next segment I would just walk the newcomers through the basic nuts and bolts of longevity. And you can watch this. I'm pulling up some PowerPoint slides. You can watch this presentation for free. The drgliddenshow.tv, the drgliddenshow.tv. So let's see if this is going to work. Keep your fingers crossed. All right. So my mentor, colleague, and friend, Dr. Joel Wallach, the founder of the Longevity Company, International Nutritional Supplement Company, publicly traded company, is the unrivaled king of the domain of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Nobody in the world comes close to matching Dr. Wallach's resume, not only his research resume, but his clinical resume. Dr. Wallach was in charge of $25 million of federally funded research from 1971 to 1983. It was a federally funded project, also funded by national zoos around the United States. Dr. Wallach did 26,000 autopsies. His team conducted over 10 million blood chemistries and histopathologies. And the result of all of this research is in the Smithsonian Institution. And this research literally wrote the book on medical nutrition. This is the textbook of medical nutrition. It's in the Smithsonian Institution, and it is this vast amount of research, grounding in old-fashioned pragmatic research, accompanied by decades, over 3 decades of clinical experience with real patients with real diseases that makes Dr. Wallach's therapeutics so unbelievably effective. $25 million of federally funded research proved that the majority of chronic diseases are caused by not a bad gene, but a bad doctor. Your body has run out of the nutrients it needs, and you're eating all the wrong food all of the time. And if you intervene in time, you can support and promote your body's ability to optimize its structure and function with therapeutic levels of nutrients and stopping eating food that's gumming up the tank. Right? I mean, you wouldn't put diesel fuel into an unleaded engine. nor vice versa. You need to give the human body the right fuel all of the time. And, well, when you do, guess what? Remarkable things start to happen. Now, the most important thing to understand here from Dr. Wallach's point of view, from Dr. Wallach's research and his clinical experience, is that there are 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs to maintain its structure and function. 90 nutrients. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids for a grand total of 90 essential nutrients. And this is why if you hang around longevity long enough, you will see the slogan, 90 for life. And that's what this refers to, the 90 essential nutrients necessary for a healthy life. 90 for life. The only problem with this scenario is it is not just tricky, difficult, impossible, or improbable to secure all 90 essential nutrients from food. It's impossible to get all 90 nutrients from food. You can't do it. It is impossible, and here's why. The lion's share of your nutrient needs are minerals, things like calcium, sulfur, zinc, selenium, minerals. Only problem with minerals is the only person who can make a mineral is God. Plants can't make minerals. Animals can't make minerals. If a plant could make a mineral, we could bioengineer spinach to make gold, and we'd all be rich. The only place we get minerals from is the soil. Minerals exist in the soil, but they're not evenly spread out in the soil, and there's also bacteria in the soil if there aren't too many pesticides in the soil. The bacteria in the soil digests the mineral. The plant sucks up the digested mineral through its root system, and now there's calcium in the carrot. There's magnesium in the carrot. There's selenium in the Brazil nut if those minerals are present in the soil. But the minerals are not evenly spread out in the soil. They exist like veins, all right, like the chocolate in chocolate ripple ice cream. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, but not everywhere, not all the time. And this is a gigantic problem. Here's a map. I'm putting up a map of selenium deposition in the soils in the United States. On this map, selenium is red. And as you can see by the map, there's only adequate amounts of selenium in maybe 20% of the topsoil in the United States. And there are areas where there's none whatsoever. Now remember, selenium is one mineral. The body needs 60. There are 60 other maps, and they're all different, and so far there's no place that anybody has discovered in the topsoil anywhere in the world where all 60 minerals are found, which leads to the inevitable conclusion that if your body needs 90 essential nutrients in order to function optimally, you are lucky if your body at any moment in time contains 30, 40, maybe if you're lucky, 50% of your body's nutrient needs, because the minerals that you need are not present in the food. They're not there. They're not there. Then you experience the stress of life. Your nutrient tank starts to bottom out. You start running on nutrient fumes. Then your body breaks, and you go to an MD because they're the only show in town. There are over 275 diseases related directly to not enough calcium in the body. Calcium is one of the minerals, one of the 90 essential nutrients. High blood pressure is a calcium and magnesium deficiency. Arthritis, kidney stones, osteoporosis, low back pain, Bell's palsy, vertigo, ringing in the ears. These are all related to low levels of calcium in the body. Period. You don't have a bad gene. You have a bad doctor. Your body has run out of the essential nutrients that it needs to maintain its structural integrity. So what do you need? You need the 90 essential nutrients. And thank God for Dr. Wallach. I mean, no kidding. I've been doing this for over 25 years. 25 years in clinical practice of naturopathic medicine. 25 years. I've seen a lot of therapeutics, but I haven't seen anything as effective as Dr. Wallach's therapeutics, and the reason is that Dr. Wallach's therapeutics are based on $25 million of federally funded research and over 3 decades of clinical experience with real patients. Wallach wrote the book on medical nutrition. So, if you are up against a health concern and, you have to pay money out of the pocket because medical insurance doesn't pay for it, my advice, go to the source. Lean on the expert. Dr. Wallach is unrivaled in his knowledge and application of medical nutrition, and Dr. Wallach's got your back. Dr. Wallach has put together a number of nutritional supplement formulas which provide your body with all 90 essential nutrients. The foundation program is called the Healthy Start Pack. The recommendation here is 1 Healthy Start Pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month and 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals. 1 Healthy Start Pack and 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month provide your body with all 90 essential nutrients in absorbable recipes, absorbable doses, and this is a key deal. We need to have absorbability. Not all vitamin supplements are created equal. Not all wines are created equal, right? Not all bowls of chicken soup are the same. Well, what's the difference? The recipe is the difference. Well, Dr. Wallach's recipes are informed by $25 million of federally funded research, 3 decades of clinical experience. I think I'd go there first if I wanted to give medical nutrition a try. And again, Dr. Wallach's got your back because we have put together a number of different generic boilerplate foundation medical nutrition interventions, because another cultural myth that we're all suffering from is this ridiculous notion that healing is a complicated, sophisticated process that should only happen in multi-million-dollar high-tech facilities. It's nonsense. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. Medical nutrition supports your body's built-in God-given ability to fix itself. So, if you're struggling with a blood sugar issue, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, insulin-resistant syndrome, syndrome X, metabolic syndrome, you don't need a doctor's appointment. You don't need to pay in a medical insurance copay. You don't need thousands of dollars of blood work. You need good, new-fashioned medical nutrition. It would be prudent, don't you think, if you're struggling with a blood sugar issue, to provide to your body the raw materials that your body needs to optimize its blood sugar metabolism. Wouldn't that be a smart idea? Well, yes, Dr. Glidden, it would. 1 healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month is a very smart place to start. You're struggling with a bone and joint issue? Well, do you need knee surgery? Probably not. It would probably be wise and prudent for you to give to your bones and joints the raw materials that they need to support and promote their optimal structure and function. 90 essential nutrients plus a couple of extra bone support formulations, collectively referred to as the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. 1 per 100 pounds of body weight per month is a most excellent place to start. Have a problem with concentration? Can't remember anything anymore? Is your old ticker giving you a problem? Took a licking but didn't really keep on ticking? Well, lean on Dr. Wallach. That's my recommendation. Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack is a very good place to start to give your central nervous system and your cardiovascular system a shot in the arm. 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for 100 pounds of body weight per month. You have esophageal reflux, heartburn, GERD, Barrett's esophagus, celiac disease, inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease. Well, a good place to start, don't you think, would be to give your body all the raw materials it needs to have a strong and healthy digestive tract. Isn't that smart? You're darn right it's smart. And again, Dr. Wallach's got your back. In order to support and promote healthy digestion, the recommendation is 1 healthy digestion pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. This is what we're up to, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we talk about all of the time. And Dr. Wallach, in his wisdom, after he was fired by Yerkes Primate Research Center for discovering the cause and the cure for cystic fibrosis, which was so outside of the box of conventional wisdom that they let him go, because they couldn't intellectually comprehend what he was talking about. What do you mean, Wallach? It's a genetic disease. We've been saying it's genetic for 30 years. You're coming along and telling me it's nutritional? What are you, nuts? Dr. Wallach discovers the cause and the cure for cystic fibrosis, and he's fired. The National Institute of Health blackballs him from teaching in any medical university in the United States. What's he going to do? Well, I'll tell you what he did do. I'll tell you what he didn't do. He didn't decide to sell his vitamins at health food stores or through the home shopping network like Andrew Lessing. Didn't decide to give his vitamins to physicians only. He decided to give them to you. He decided to enlist your aid in growing a grassroots coalition of the informed, So he founded Youngevity on purpose as a networked business, the intention of which is to pay you to help us grow our grassroots coalition of the informed, people who have become frustrated with conventional medicine, people who have been ushered into the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, who got results and then who told everybody in their life about it. Every army needs to be paid. We are growing a non-militant army of the informed. It is a war for hearts and minds. 2 + 2 will always equal 4. Your body will always need the 90 essential nutrients, and we need your help spreading this message. So get with the person that told you about this radio show and ask them about the Youngevity business opportunity. Get with the radio show that you're listening to. Listen on the commercial breaks for the number to call to get more information. And if you found me all by yourself, give me a call, 855-347-3696. Phone lines are still down at GCN, so we're going to answer questions exclusively from the chat room now, live on the air. You can enter the chat for free by visiting the website, thedrgliddenshow.tv, thedrgliddenshow.tv. Murray says, Doc, I went gluten-free for 5 weeks and then ate a box of mac and cheese. Oh, my God. I just lost the question here. Hold on. And the Taco Bell with gluten over the course of the day to test it, and I did not get sick. Can I assume I can digest gluten now? Yes. This is the acid test. So for any type of a food-related allergy that you suspect or intolerance, the gluten is not an allergy, it's an intolerance that you expect or presume may be present in your body. If you eliminate the stuff for 5 weeks, then you add a lot of it to your body in one day, and you get no negative reactions whatsoever, then you're good to go. Now, we postulate about 25% of the population. About 25% of the population are okay with gluten. But because what we talk about here are boilerplate foundation medical nutrition strategies for the masses, the recommendation is everybody should avoid gluten because 75% of the time I will be correct. So, it's a very smart idea, Murray, to do the elimination challenge diet, but it's kind of a sticky wicket because on the day that you add gluten back into the mix, you want to look to see, right? Maybe it's not your chronic arthritis that flared up or your blood pressure, but maybe your sleep that night wasn't so good. Maybe your digestion wasn't that great. Maybe you were a little constipated the day after. Maybe your mood was a little moody or something, right? So you really need to be objective and look to see across the board whether anything flared up. And if anything did flare up, then I would say no to gluten. But if you're mindful, you went 5 weeks and then you threw gluten back into the body, you should be good to go. And it's interesting, my experience with people who can tolerate gluten is that the majority of them are African Americans. And I don't know why. African Americans, in my clinical experience, can tolerate gluten better than anybody. Now, there's millions of African Americans who can't. But I'm interested to know, Murray, whether you are African American or not. Isn't that interesting? Sharon in the chat room says, I have a friend who wants to start the Healthy Pack but has kidney stones. Won't take any calcium at all. She did take calcium per doctor's advice and got a double case of kidney stones. What can I tell her? I know that you say that calcium doesn't cause kidney stones. Well, tell her that Dr. Glidden is right and her doctor is wrong. And by the way, there's a difference between getting kidney stones and passing kidney stones. Right? People get these two things mixed up all the time. You can have a kidney stone in your kidney for 50 years. And you can have a kidney stone in your liver for, a day. It takes a while for a kidney stone to form, but once it's there, it can stay there forever. Kidney stones are only problematic when they leave the kidney and go down the ureter into the urethra, into the bladder, and then you try to pass it out. It's extremely painful when the stone is moving from the kidney into the bladder. Extremely painful. So what happens? People are completely undernutrified. Their bodies are completely devoid in calcium. This causes the parathyroid glands on the side of the thyroid to secrete parathormone, which leaches calcium in massive doses from the bones in order to neutralize the pH of the blood. So now you have a calcium storm in the blood, which causes kidney stones to form. You go to your medical doctor, he draws blood. Oh, yeah, your calcium level's elevated. But the calcium level in the blood is elevated because of insufficient amounts of dietary calcium. Your medical doctor, having never taken a course in medical nutrition, missed that significant data point, and all their conclusions after the fact were incorrect. So now you take some nutrients into the body, the 90 essential nutrients, and guess what? Your kidney starts popping out the stones because it wants to get rid of them. But it didn't have the chutzpah to be able to do that before you took the nutrition. So you take the nutrition, and then you pass the kidney stone, and then your stupid doctor tells you it's the nutrition that caused the kidney stone. That's just insane, and that physician should have his or her license revoked. Hour 2 coming up, folks. Stick around. So glad that you joined us. Check out the live video feed at thedrgliddenShow.tv.